Surag from Polkadot, Sheth from Taxa Network, Matt from Nervos, and Edgar from Harmony protocol. And tonight we shall share with you guys a fresh insight of the year ahead with Web3 with you all. And let's take turns to introduce yourself. How about start with
Hey everyone, I'm TF, tech co-founder of Taxa Network. So Taxa Network is building an on-chain smart contract platform with privacy and performance, and we're enabling the new possibilities for the future Web3 applications.
Hi guys, my name is Surag, Sheth, from the Web3 Foundation. I know you have the politics at Jack here tonight. Fortunately, Jack couldn't make it out here. Over at the Web3 Foundation, I'm working as a business development analyst. And right now, we're currently working on 2 different protocols within the Polkadot network itself, as well as the persona network, which is very
Nervos is a new layer of blockchain. Focus on scalability and interoperability.
So we have a pretty diverse panel here. So you have like engineer, communicator, and farmers. So we can hear different aspects of the Web3 development. So my first question is that in one sentence, what's Web3 to you?
To me, it's really building, making sure there's an economy around securing transactions, and then being able to essentially verify the validity of the transactions as well as the data. So overall, it's actually just less trust and creating essentially like a user-based interface.
From my point of view, Web3 is a natural next step, natural trend for the future internet, with more decentralization and more trust and more freedom.
I would say it's a new architecture for internet-based applications that leverages cryptography, distributed databases, and basically gets rid of consistent admins.
Making it as a blockchain as a DB.
Yeah. So we have seen like Web3 architecture has been evolving in the past 2 years. So what are the key changes?
I don't know if this is like directly a key change per se. One thing I'm definitely interested in, just in the past 2 years evolved, are identity hubs. Essentially being able to store more information across devices.
In the past 2 years, I think the one thing is at the beginning there are standalone programs, and they mostly they run. And as of today, there are many projects that focus on solving what blockchain can't or really not good at. And we are still starting to build a ecosystem, or we say we are building a stack for the class. I think so from layer 1 to multiple layers, and from standalone projects to forming a stack.
I would say a lot of stuff around, just like the winners being separated from the losers, say in terms of liquidity or platform tokens, things like that. Things that are more experiments that don't have legs are kind of going away. So you see like in DeFi today, liquidity is a big thing, and if platforms don't have strong liquidity behind their native currency, it's not a good fit for DeFi. It kind of separates.
So I only started with blockchain really in currency. I can't really say about the past 2 years. But I definitely think that because there are going to be so many chains that will make it out, a lot of
that's a really good answers. So, what's your anticipation about layer 1 and the middleware in 2020? You can share some of the insight.
I'm not really following you.
We don't have to do like each person. Yeah, I think we're like moving toward more viable solutions. I think there's a lot of ideas around like layer 2, sidechains, channels, stuff like that that people have kind of fooled around on for a while, and it seemed like certain foundational problems. So if you look at all this work and like the roll-ups, things like that now, I think we will see some sort of like design that starts to look at this is how you do it.
Like I was mentioning, I think that this year you'll see a lot of things that move over to proof of stake or releases of proof of stake. And because of that, the actual day-to-day experience of the validators will matter a lot. And so that, I think, the layer 1 will be a big deal. How quickly, whatever the project is, will be able to iterate with their communities. And how forgiving those communities will be as validators when the software sucks or breaks down. Because your friend always forgives you, but like somebody who's not on your side is going to be
That's really a good point. I also agree that the staking will also be a hotspot continuing in 2020. And besides the chains, I also think from tech product wise, I think it's also important job to finding the killer apps, which is a job both for developers and for the project.
I think the following question is more for Polkadot. So from single chain to multi-chain, what are the key opportunities and implications for the developers?
Yeah. I think one really cool thing about multi-chains is essentially giving more options to developers. Right? If you're a smart contract engineer, you just build on a parachain, which essentially enables that has smart contract functionality built in. If you're a runtime engineer, essentially you can build out your own blockchains incredibly easily. And if you really want, you can start putting pieces of your protocol on like one parachain, another parachain, and essentially they can all kind of group together to create like your overall protocol. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see where people go. Kind of going back to those points of the developer community, what the implications are for developers. I guess once again, like once the tooling is going to be deployed onto one specific blockchain, what does an IDE look like when you're deploying to many different parachains? So that's definitely something that's going to be interesting to look at.
Actually, with respect to multi-chains, I think it's a little bit premature. Because I feel like problems should be solved when they're unavoidably difficult. And I don't think we're at the level yet where the single chain isn't like, it's like a limiting factor. I don't think it's not there yet.
Okay, so I think the next we're going to talk about the privacy-related issue. So should privacy be addressed on layer 1 or layer 2? What's your opinion?
Okay, I think privacy, when we're talking about blockchain privacy, and they have totally different definition when talking about layer 1 and layer 2. So when we're talking about privacy for layer 1, we have the concept like Zcash, like Green, like Monero, which are for the privacy of the say your identity and your financial and transaction informations, and which and the technology involved on layer 1 are like ZK stars, right? Those technology on layer 1, and when we're talking about layer 2, layer 2 actually solves totally different problems than layer 1. For example, something layer 1 not really good at, for example, computation. Layer 1 may be able to verify some computation, but really not good at conduct heavy computation. Or when you talk, other features such as privacy or oracles. Yeah. So in this case, when we are talking about privacy layer 2, as of today's blockchain ecosystem, most of those projects are related to privacy computation, which are totally solving different problems. For example, how can you when you want to conduct some heavy computation, how can you keep your data privacy to your service providers? And they involve some very different technologies such as trustless execution environments or multi-line computation. And so in conclusion, they solve the different problems and use different technologies on layer 1 and layer 2.
I think ideally it's solved in layer 2 just because the nature of layer 2 versus layer 1 is a lot easier to keep private. I think so something like Monero, like there are always going to be new things to kind of mop up in new ways that I guess privacy is leaking because it's a decentralized global network where all this information is being spread across the public internet. So I think it's great that layer 1 privacy does exist. I just think it's much easier to solve in layer 2.
Yeah, I mean, our opinion is much more agnostic. And it kind of depends on which way you look at the relay chain versus the parent chain. The relay chain essentially becomes a layer 2 if you're directly interacting with the parent chain. So we really just want, we don't really care what's directly on these chains itself, and we just want to kind of keep it as open as possible for developers to just be able to build.
So what previously unsolvable problems are now doable with privacy technologies?
So in general, the reason we are building something on blockchain is we want a trustless server, and to eliminate the middleman and reduce the cost for people to establish trust. That's the blockchain's nature. And with the privacy technology, we're actually granting the third party, privacy preserving features and even more, so we can solve more real world problems, such as the hot topic of Web3. How can we keep the user's data privacy and ownership while allowing some service provider to do something based on their data? So in conclusion, privacy could make the trustless third party, mutual trusted third party much stronger to solve the real world problems.
There's a lot of innovation in like the hash algorithm space around like if you're using a hash algorithm inside of a snark circuit, something like that, how do you make it more efficient? There's also a lot of things around making more flexible circuits so that we can like do some sort of like arbitrary computation instead of it having to be the same every time. So I think we're seeing that like the privacy preserving stuff is becoming much more like usable and useful for things, whereas like say shielded transactions in Zcash, nobody ever used because you would need a desktop gaming computer to ever use them. So most people are doing transactions on something much smaller.
I think it matters to also realize that privacy technology is not just about like hiding stuff, transactions, but it's also useful. It's a big family of stuff. So, for example, one approach that we're starting to look at Harmony is to use the RSA accumulators as a way to replace having to hold on to all this extra state for, let's say, some aggregated number. So again, like we have a staking algorithm coming online. If you have a delegator, all you really care about is that total delegated sum that all of the delegations came to as a validator, right? So if you can avoid having to expand the size of the blockchain for this piece of information that's still verifiable, that's a privacy technology. It's not a zero knowledge kind of thing, but it is still a proof of knowledge. So the privacy technologies, when we say like what previously unsolved problems will solve, there's the one that we know of, but there's tons that creative people haven't realized the connection between these new tools and the existing problems.
My next question is about the ecosystem. So what's your opinion about the Web3 ecosystem, and how does it differ from the Web2 ecosystem?
Yeah, just like we mentioned before, one significant difference from Web3 to Web2 is we added trust. It's built upon the infrastructure of trust. For example, on Web2, maybe say you ordered $100 on DoorDash, and DoorDash gives you 100 credit, which is not just a number in their database. But if you add trust to this factor, if you make everything verifiable, we can trace how this credit come from and how it's transferred. Then it's actually no longer a credit unused on one website. It's literally a currency. So also, if we can put the trust on how the service provider handling your data. How can they guarantee they give you the correct result? How if you can verify how the service provider what the service provider did on your data. So there will be a lot of new possibilities, including the true data ownership. So yeah, I think one significant difference is the trust, which is the core of it.
I was just saying shortly that Web 2 was so much easier to build something than Web 3, and it's just inherently more complicated, and you're asking much more of the implementer. It's just so they have to know more concepts to just get anything done. And I don't know if that's just because there's no way to abstract away that complication, otherwise people will be making insecure apps, or if people just really do need to step up and understand, put in the effort. This is a new thing. This is a new ability. So nothing is for free. You have to, learn this new skill.
So we know today's blockchain is developing very quickly. So what's the hardest problem that holds the blockchain back?
So this is obvious, people say scalability, but I'll kind of focus a little bit more on lack of education at a general level. Most people still think as Bitcoin equals cryptocurrency equals Silk Road equals blockchain, right? And we need to essentially be able to essentially educate people on what the benefits of this technology really are, what the implications of not paying attention to. Because what we do today.
And I totally agree. Previously, panelists said the privacy and decentralization comes with a high cost. If you really want to do something related to scalability or to performance, centralized service is definitely better than decentralized service. And we will pay a high price for achieving privacy and decentralization. And we also gain something, which is we reduce the cost to establish the trust. So if we want to have some killer applications on the blockchain ecosystem, it's necessary to make the benefit larger than the cost. So that is the biggest challenge, to find the killer app and to find the best fit on the blockchain.
Yeah, I think key management is probably the biggest one. Everyone has it, everyone shares it. Billions of dollars have been raised, and nobody really considers it to be something that's holding the whole ecosystem back. Also, use cases like DeFi, for example, is seen as the thing that will lead us forward. But centralized services do it just fine. There's lots of things like that. So I think that justification for people to go over these hurdles, I don't think we have a strong narrative unless the Bitcoin price is doubling every 6 months.
I think the UX of blockchain sucks every level. And even when you're developing on it, it's very difficult to figure out what's going on wrong. And so at each level, it's just an awful experience. And there's a lot of mean people. So what if Peter should write laws? There's Bitcoin password. And it was all of the flies doing were, oh, you're so stupid, how do you deserve this? sucks. If I'm one Google away from losing my money on the app, terrible. Gotta do something for that. So the whole is, I think that's also just because like we as people are interacting with blockchain in a meaningful sense only in the past like 4 or 5 years. And now as change has become real, we'll be interacting with it even more because the validator matters much, much more in the proof of staking algorithms. So it's just the way we interact with blockchain to understand what kind of flows of it has to improve. And I don't know if that UX is going to be earned in the worst possible way, which is like just a diehard about it, or people can make like cool creative videos or GIFs or something.
Yeah, so this is a good point. So in my opinion, something about the blockchain should never be directly exposed to the end users. If you want to, if you really want the mass adoption for blockchains. For example, like how the blockchain protocol works for the key management. If you want the end user to manage most of their money is based on private key, but they don't know how it works, I don't think how it works. Just like today, although all the internet security, most of the internet security are building upon the HTTPS, SS, TLS, but very few internet users know how it works. But everyone knows to find the little green lock on your browser's address bar. So that is the example that we hide most of the tech details behind the product, and we use the product to deliver user. Their user model, but they don't necessarily know how it works. And even for some developers, they shouldn't to touch the detailed security mechanism directly. Otherwise, not every developer can write security code. That's another issue.
So, in your opinion, which are going to be the first Web3 killer app in the blockchain ecosystem?
Yeah, as I said, maybe it will first emerging on the enterprise industry faster than to the user industry. But for the consumer industry, I think maybe gaming is a good entry point. Although today's infrastructure is not good enough to support the games with the most popular games today. Even like the popular games, kind of difficult to totally punch it down their own lines. And with the infrastructure involved, I think gaming maybe could serve as a good start for consumer because it involves token and everyone knows how it works, and it has a very large user base already. And
I don't think that this is necessarily going to be a killer app, but I think it's an app that would be useful on a daily basis. Which, if you're using a blockchain app every day, I think that is kind of like a blockchain. And again, because so many staking algorithm-based chains are going to be online this year, a lot of them do support delegation as well. Harmony support delegation, Cosmos support delegation. I would love to have an app where I just delegate, just play with the blockchain, interact with it. Some kind of wallet that also incorporates delegation. That's something you can write in pure JavaScript, front end and back end. The back end can just be a cloud function that does delegation. So something like that, I think, will be actually a quite useful app that engages people. Because now the blockchain needs people to actually use it on a daily basis.
Some sort of stable coin in markets without stable currencies. Like, I feel like people are starting to show the promise of this. Like, you have a number of central bank coins now. I don't know if private blockchain is considered blockchain or whatever there, but I do see that there will be utility for it.
yeah, also, we are thinking that one day some blockchain developer may make some killer apps, but there's also a possibility of working on outside world that is something already with a very large user base. They adopt blockchain. Yeah, for example, if you really want to make a killer game, usually first be a game maker running the blockchain network. And Uber, maybe another, maybe a possibility.
So to wrap up, let's end up with one question. So how will blockchain affect people's life in 1 or 2 years?
So I guess I can talk for about I guess it's not directly in the second one question per se, but like highly regulated industries like agriculture, healthcare, energy, the idea behind verifiable credentials can definitely be used. So we have like one example over there, which is like, let's say like healthcare provider data, right? And essentially creating a network of verifiable credentials. Right now, like let's say I'm a physician or a doctor, I want to go into a hospital. Typically, it takes somewhere between like 2 to 3 months to actually get verified because you get primary source verification. What that means essentially is that I can't just take the word and say you went to Stanford Medical. That means I have to go directly to the individual and get the information from them. So I think one thing we can start seeing though is that these doctors typically can make their facility somewhere around like $2 million every year. And you can just imagine if they're 2 weeks off of work, it's about like $150,000 or so that they've lost. And so essentially by creating this sort of network of verifiable credentials, you can verify each of the providers incredibly quickly. And that can lead to essentially better healthcare, better treatment for healthcare, right? Because as it is, like physicians complain that there's not enough time for them to be, on the floor, and if you added waiting for a new doctor to come in, those extra 1 or 2 minutes can lead to a better diagnosis. So that may be one of the things that we may see in the next year or two in blockchain.
Yeah, just as I said, the day that blockchain gets mass adoption doesn't necessarily mean every user knows how to. It doesn't mean blockchain will be directly exposed to every end user. Maybe blockchain will work on somewhere. They don't say it, but it's already infiltrated in some product they use data. And I think that this is a large possibility in the near future.
I think we'll see access to new financial instruments. So like you could look at something like staking yields or like DeFi yield today. I mean, these are things that weren't available to people, say 1 or 2 years ago, and it seems to be in a regulatory space where there's a lot of innovation. I think like tokenized access to stocks, things like that. We just see a lot of innovation and then access to these instruments from the user's end because they're all permissionless systems.
I'll pass on answering. It's too difficult to predict.
I hope everyone gets some valuable information from the discussion. So there is 5 minutes for the question.
So my name is Edgar. I've been in space for a few years. Props to Matt for inviting me. My question is just kind of trying to get more familiarity with Web3 and kind of what it is that you're offering and what you're presenting on today. Do you see each other as competitors? Is there room to collaborate? Like, what does that relationship between kind of all your protocols, communities, companies kind of look like? Maybe just an example as kind of like how it is that maybe you all are working together.
Photography groups. Everybody's channels. Nobody's really talking about what the project is done. Everybody's just talking openly about ideas. And that's such that is cooperation. Because there's a lot of cool stuff that never got released, or there was a great paper, but never took off because the source code was never released. And so being able to have code from other projects or the ideas or approaches, right now when so many of the real problems that are coming about, like for example, like the sheer size of the chain, that's like a problem. Or
interoperability, speed, and security. So looking at the ledgers and the different layers, and looking at separate. So if you're looking at interoperability instead of that type of umbrella, and security challenges and speed at the same time. Process.
You said, how do you address interoperability challenges while maintaining speed and security?
Do you see a speed and cybersecurity trade-off there if you're looking at interoperability, or do you see that not? Do you actually see faster processing?
So, from what I've seen, there is some, I guess, flexibility you need to build in terms of interoperability, which would affect speed. I don't think it affects security, but I do think by making, say, a smart contract, by making it flexible, you're having to account for that maybe execution is slower, so you can jam through less TPS.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about slower transactions, there's necessarily a cybersecurity component there. If the actual transactions on that ledger are slower.
But I guess I don't see where like a cybersecurity component comes in.
I mean, it's slower if you're looking at other people trying to actually access that data. There's slower transactions. If the transaction speed is slowed and that data is valuable, there's necessarily a security deficit.
Why? I guess maybe we can take it offline.
Yeah, if the data is valuable and people are competing to get that data, there's necessarily, yeah.
Oh, Dimitri here. I've been in this space for a while, and I'm curious because all your projects need at some level to build a community, right? Are there any specific challenges that you found that you were not aware of when you started? Like, oh, this is kind of hard to do because of X, Y, Z. If you have found one of those challenges, what is X, Y, Z? What are the hard things to building this community?
So last year Harmony did this notion where it was called Pangea. And Pangea was some business development. But at the end of it, the run had finished. But we still had like a 700 group Telegram group. Just people who signed up to play this game, whatever it was, Pangea. And so afterwards, the question was like, well, okay, what do we do with all these people? Because you got all of these people, not all of them technical, but how do you mold that community from this initial thing that started from a marketing thing and into like an extension of your project? Because that could be like the best possible outcome, right? People who contribute to your open source, people who dog food your tools, people who are distributed all over the world so that they're working on your project even when you're asleep. So maintaining that community, I think one of the harder things has been to keep them in the fold. Because when you work at a company, not everything in a company is 100% transparent all the time. And that's not necessarily an issue of malice or anything. It's just that like your default channel that you go to in Slack is like, internal. You don't by default talk. So concrete example for me is like, internal development. When I really should be doing it on development. Because then that kind of external community, they're kind of like on the periphery of your company. They're not your coworker, but they're also not like somebody off the street. People who invest a lot of time to be that community. They're the people who forgive the software when it goes wrong. They're those who will explain how it works when you're not around. And that's the only way it works if you want to have actual decentralized blockchain, right? So maintaining that community, I think sometimes we did slip up. And it was again by an accident. I was just like, oh, we didn't let you know. And then 12 hours went by and they were sitting on their hands. that a few times, but like, you do it 5 times in a row. Maybe someone will move on.
So basically, what you're just saying, you just say that maintaining a discipline of sharing information is something that you still have to do.
Well, even saying to call it discipline is kind of makes it sound like a job. It's more about respect. I respect you enough to where I keep you informed. Because if something happened to somebody, I will tell my coworker. Because I respect them, I want them to be informed and to be effective. So like if I saw my coworker and they weren't figuring it out, I wouldn't like go the other direction. I wouldn't help them. And the same thing with this Pangea community too. It's not so much like the discipline. It's just that like I respect them enough that I have to make sure that I'm using their time effectively. Because I could be doing something else. Like, there's so many other projects that would love to have people who test their stuff, report, give the bugs, use it immediately. And I'm just genuinely happy to run the program. That's just, it's valuable. It's so valuable. It's expensive to build and it doesn't cost that much to break it.
I would say the whole idea of like building mind share with like the intention for some sort of a goal is really hard in community, because I think in general like community building is very much kind of like will of the people and like what are you interested in? Let's do a meetup about that. Let's hang out and learn what you're interested in. I think when the goal is like to build up a project and there's 1,000 other projects that all kind of look similar from a distance, to actually get people to come in and say, hey, like, let's do this together. Like, you know, if they spend 6 months like with the people that are working on it and understanding it, then they may, you know, be interested. But it's really hard to move them. It just takes time, you know, to show them like, hey, this is the right project. This is why you should be involved. And I think with like Ethereum, I think a lot of us, you know, either like came in towards like, I guess more of like when the foundation's already built, or just kind of saw it after a while. But it just like all of it seemed like it happened so fast and so turnkey. And a lot of that is because they spent, you know, a few years prior to coming above ground, like doing the kind of hard work. And I think a lot of projects, it's hard to comprehend that all of that has to happen before you get kind of like this magic